Okay, so when we left off, you guys were in the, what was it called? Lock and Key Inn, and the innkeeper has passed away. You guys were having a drink to the dead, and Katiara has just discovered a mysterious bag behind a bottle of brandy that he started chugging.
What ho? What is this?
What's what?
I turn around, show the bag, kind of turn around and use my body to shield them in case there's anything weird inside, and open the bag, look inside.
Question for you, Katiara. What's your favorite smell?
A very full-bodied red wine.
That's exactly what you smell from inside this pouch.
I'm looking inside. Do I see anything? Do I need to move it and catch a better angle of light?
Yeah, it's a little dark in the back of the bar there. So if you do bring it forward, you can get a better look inside.
Okay, I start moving around from behind the bar, and I warn everybody to stay away just in case something happens. And then I take it up to the window and look inside.
There is a fine green powder inside the bag.
Well, this is quite odd, isn't it? I'm seeing a fine grain powder in here. Has anybody else ever come across something like that? I mean, it smells like my favorite thing, like a full-bodied red wine, but it's like green powder.
Never heard of anything like that. Can I take a look?
What do you smell?
Ysmyr takes a smell and doesn't smell anything.
Nothing. Are you sure you smelled something?
I put my nose down and give a big snurfle and see if I still smell the full-bodied red wine.
Oh, yeah, it smells really good.
This smells like a Barula, like 3 years old, just hitting its peak. It's amazing, and you can't smell anything.
She just shrugs.
You guys are arguing over the smell of a bag?
Well, it's somewhat extraordinary, isn't it? Jesse,
I don't know.
You come here. You try it.
Tempus will give it a smell.
Tempus, you also don't smell anything.
Tempus will dip a finger in and give it a taste.
You don't taste anything either. It's just kind of a non-event in your mouth.
Tempus will just shake his head and say, "It doesn't smell or taste like anything."
Okay, now I'm curious. I lick my finger, put it down into the powder, bring it up, and give it a cautious lick.
It tastes exactly like it smells, and it is absolutely heavenly. And in game, you currently have a +2 bonus to charisma.
Oh my, this is just so good. It's amazing. All the characteristics, all the depth, all the mouthfeel. Oh my word. Oh, I sit down and I'm just lost, staring into this with a perplexed look on my face.
I think you'll want to talk to Inessa about that.
I suspect I need to. I look around. Did she leave to go back home, or is there a group around consoling her out of my eyesight?
As far as you know, she lives at the Lock and Key Inn. However, she hasn't returned yet.
I close the pouch back up and I attach it to my belt, and I'm like, well, keeping things in perspective, the town's rather in a spot of trouble. What do you guys think we should do next? Find out what's going on, talk to the army, talk to the city god?
Well, I've spoken to the army and the city guard. We've already mobilized the army to go check the surrounding farmlands. And that pouch isn't yours.
Ah, but I am keeping it secure until I can talk to Inessa.
Well, we've mobilized the army. We've mobilized the clerics who can actually do something. I'm not sure there's really anything more we can do here. I think it's time that we move out further.
On that note, as you mentioned that you've sent out the clerics who can do things, Miri, your mother approaches you, and she's wringing her hands, and her cheeks are wet from tears she's shed for the fallen. She says, "We have lost Brother Nathril, and there's still no word from Foltus. I feel we have been abandoned in our hour of need. I feel without hope. All my life I've dedicated to Foltus. And for what? To watch people die of maladies I can no longer heal?"
Mother, I really don't think he's abandoned us on purpose. From what I have been told, he has been imprisoned. So it's not that he's abandoned us, it's that he can't get to us. I need to go and find him and free him.
Is that why you came talking about an adventure?
Yes.
To go find your god?
Yes, I know that probably sounds silly, but yes.
Free your god. We're going to free your god?
Yes.
That seems rather imposing.
Yes.
Huh? Sounds terrifying. How can we free a god?
I don't know, but I know we'll figure it out.
You're trusting a lot in blind luck.
Not exactly blind luck. There's more going on than I can really explain readily. Suffice to say, I am effectively a mortal angel.
Kaitiera looks gobsmacked beyond belief and just kind of leans down, both elbows on the table, and staring in absolute rapture at her now.
Huh.
All right, I realize that probably sounds a little bit far-fetched, but I'm not lying. And that's why I really do think that I can go and free my god from captivity. And I do think that the other gods will help. And that's how I was able to fight the zombies outside town. Foltus isn't responding, but somebody answered my prayers when we were fighting the zombies.
May I ask a question?
Of course you may, although I can't guarantee I have an answer.
As you have explained to me, these gods you worship are beings of incredible power who lend you the ability to cast your magic spells and provide you with a doctrine and guidance on how to live your life. Is that a fair summary?
Reasonably so, yes.
Then how could such a creature be contained or captured?
That's a very good question. I'm not sure, and I'm going to go find out.
Well, that's all fine and dandy, but there's also the zombie issue to figure out. Like, we can't just ignore that.
And I feel like we stand a lot better odds on that one.
I just continue looking gobsmacked.
The problem is, the zombies are a problem, and they're not one I can solve without my magic. I've just told you my magic. Sorry?
Where did you intend to start looking for your god?
Well, I figure a good place to start is to head out to the Temple of the Sun and ask the Elder if anything in his stories has any information.
And if we were to leave the city in search of your god, do you think it reasonable that we may run into the zombies outside of the city?
Yup. Probably.
2 targets, 1 stone.
Yeah.
Can you bestow any angelic favor or something on us?
Right now, inside the city, my magic isn't working. It worked outside the city. That's a big part of why I want to leave the city.
So is it location specific?
As far as I can tell, it does seem to be. Magic was working when we were fighting the zombies out in the farmlands.
Is the city cursed?
The priests of Torn were fine.
Which indicates that there's something wrong with specific. I'm not sure.
It might be picking and choosing a few targets.
In a few places.
Or is it casting on a location and there's a certain area it covers? Because I have a lot of spells that are like that. I pick a spot and it affects so much around it.
But you're not a cleric.
Yeah. All right, so we go wander around the city testing magic?
I'd like to have a little more purpose in what we're doing. I understand what you're saying, but while we're doing that, is there something else we could be trying to achieve?
What are the army and the guard doing about the zombies?
The army is going to... the guard is useless. I will say that right now. It's a reason I decided to help them while I've been here. But the army is sending out their men to the various farmlands to look for more zombies, since whichever one came to start this trouble disappeared. And who knows where it's gone and how much it's spread already. And it will also give the farmers a warning.
There was paths away from the farmhouse where we were. Want to head in the direction of one of the tracks?
That could be a good possibility. I'm not sure it's necessarily the best possibility.
Tempus had a point of two birds, 1 stone.
Why don't we prepare for a journey and then head out towards the Temple of the Sun? See if we run into anything. I'd like to talk to the Elder there, if I can.
All right. So what's the plan for right now?
If I might summarize, it sounds like we're going to get prepared to go on a journey. Miri's going to go to the Temple of the Sun, and it sounds like Ysmyr is going to come with us, maybe?
She's got permission to look into this zombie issue, so she can go.
Okay.
The only thing I'm concerned about is how well everyone's rested, healed, prepared for battle.
I'm fine for most of that. I don't have food for a multiple days journey.
Okay, so out of character then, is the basic plan then that we're sort of going to go our separate ways, take a couple of preparatory elements, and then meet back in the morning to go on this journey outside of the city?
I'm willing to actually do some investigation this afternoon. With everything that happened, I'm still fairly all together.
Same. I have time to look around.
So how about a quick split then? If we have an investigative team that's going to explore the city, I'll take care of starting to get some provisions and rations together for travel. Miri wants to go to the temple. Yaereene, do you have anything that you'd like to do?
I'll tag along with the investigation if you'd like.
Just to point out, the Temple of the Sun is a day and a half walk from the city, so it's not something that Miri can just go and do on her own.
Okay. Miri, do you want to join team Get Ready for the Journey, and the rest of the party will go off to investigate whatever they can find?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
All right. Well, I guess we need to decide where we want to start.
Does either team have a place where they want to start, where you're thinking about starting immediately, and then the other team can maybe discuss in chat while they're getting ready?
As far as get ready for journey, I probably need to go back to the temple and gather things up and rest and stuff. I don't know the status of my spell slots effectively. I probably got kind of roughed up in the fight.
No spell slots.
So I think if we've gone by the roll off, if everybody's comfortable with the prep team going first, I'll be looking to procure us like a pack animal, possibly a cart. I'll take a look at whatever rations I can procure for the party, and if there's maybe at all time, I'll also pop by the Explorers Guild.
Sounds good.
Anything you'd like to add to that, Miri?
I don't think so.
Okay. You're the local. Would you happen to know if there's any kind of market or stable that we could start our procurement at?
Logically, in character, I probably would. Out of character, I don't.
The market in the image that I just shared with you is right in the center of town.
Let's start with the market then. We'll head there.
There's also kind of a lower class market down towards the south and a high class market north end of the city.
Do you have a preference, Miri?
Probably the lower market I'd have a lot more cred with because my mother's been one of the best healers. And the lower market is probably one that we've significantly helped doing like healing for free for people who cannot afford healing. As far as people checking temples, I can probably give you that information.
Good deal. So if they want to just quickly coordinate with you, like where they can go to throughout the city, and we'll head to the southern market, to the cheap market.
All right, that works. So, basically, I'll fill everybody in on some basic which temples have been most affected by the loss of magic, not getting answers and stuff, and where they should go for information and whatnot, and then go start in with buying things, getting ready.
Okay, so just briefly, there are a few gods that have temples around the city. There's Torm, Palor, Foltis, Coralin, Yondala, Olodamara, and Farlang. Palor and Foltis are the only ones who have reported any problems with their followers being unable to contact their gods so far. Everybody else seems to be having no issues.
And that's for the investigative team's benefit?
Yeah, Miri just shared that information with you guys before you left when you were talking about going to talk to people at temples.
Okay, so Palor and Foltis might be the best.
Well, isn't Poultice the god of Miri that she can't communicate with in town?
That's right. Their temple's right across the street from the Lock and Key Inn where you guys are right now.
Then I would vote we can go check at the Temple of Palor and just see if they have anything else to add. But short of that, I don't know what else we can check at the temples.
I'm just wondering if there's another one that's on the way to the gate that we could drop in and see if things have changed for them.
Well, I'm already seeing us. Well, do we see a connection between these two already?
The Palor is god of the sun that the humans in town worship, and Foltis is god of light that the non-humans tend to worship.
Is there a god of darkness or night? A temple to either see how they were doing?
No, not in town.
Didn't think so, but thought I should check.
So it's the sun, which creates light, and light gods that have their magic snuffed out. And no dodgy, morally ambivalent gods that we could check on?
In terms of dodgy gods, there's Oladamara in the south end of town, who's kind of a god of partying and sneaks and stuff like that.
Sounds like my kind of god.
But I also don't think it's one that would be involved in this issue.
Now, Flanagan?
I think it said Farlang. That's a god of travel. That's why they're outside of town. And Coralon is the god of the elves. Yondala is a god of halflings that deals with fertility. And I think, and Torm is protection. So I'm going to go back to Jesse and Miri while you guys sort out where you want to go first. Tempus and Miri, you guys head to the southern market. This is a rougher part of town, but as Miri said, her mother's good work in the city gives her some protection in this area, and you guys aren't accosted or anything like that. And you get to the marketplace, no problem.
Tempus is scarier than anything else in this entire city.
And Miri is both well known and really, really distinctive.
Yeah, the two of you make an interesting pair walking through town.
So we probably get all the funny looks.
Okay, so can we find like a stable or a livery or something that might be willing to trade us a beast of burden?
Yes, there is a marketplace here, and somebody who deals in kind of the lower forms of beasts of burden. You can find mules, but no like good quality horses or even draft horses in this area.
I'll approach the merchant and I'll cast an eye over his stock to see if there's anything worth buying.
Make an animal handling check.
Blah.
They all look like fine, strapping animals to you.
Perfect. I'll approach the merchant and ask him for how much for two of his beasts.
Oh, you're looking at some of my animals here. Eh? Yeah, they're best mules you'll find in all of Nordgard, no doubt about it. I'd give you two for 16 gold.
I am afraid that I do not have that much money, and so I will offer you another deal.
All right, I'm listening.
I have in my possession 10 gold, and I show it to him. I will wrestle you
Maybe we
for
should
the.
go somewhere else.
Nope, I've got this. Don't worry. I will wager you 10 gold against two of your mules that you cannot wrestle me to the ground.
Tempus, maybe we should go somewhere else.
He looks you up and down. He's like, I don't know about me wrestling you, but I could find someone to wrestle you.
Tempus, maybe we should go somewhere else.
I'm torn between my desire to listen to the adult and to get myself a wrestling match. So, Miri, convince me.
Tempus, this is not generally how humans do bargaining.
Oh, please excuse my social gaffes. Then I will defer to your experience.
Let's go somewhere else.
I shrug at the guy and say, another time then.
All right, well, he'll be back soon, I'm sure. I'd like to see that wrestling match.
I'll follow Miri.
I'm gonna go see about rations first.
Okay, where are you going to head to go look for rations?
Given that this is where I grew up, I probably know the best farmers markets. So I'm gonna head to my favorite place to buy food.
Okay, that leaves you with a couple of options. On the north side of town is Dumathir's grocer, who has the best quality food in town. But there's also Jerry Lou in the middle of town, who's also got pretty good quality stuff.
I'm gonna bet that Jerry Lou can probably give me some stuff that'll be good enough for decent trail rations.
Undoubtedly.
Then that's where I'm going.
Okay, well, you two head back to the central market. Investigation team, have you decided where you're going?
We're heading south. We're gonna head for the south gate and check in at Olidamara's temple.
Okay, there's not actually a south gate, just to clarify. He's just, this temple is just kind of in the rougher part of town. It's actually fairly close to the market that Miri and Tempus are leaving right now.
Where are the gates?
There's gates on the east and the northwest side of town, kind of southeast.
I look at my companions and kind of shrug.
Oh, let's go check the east gate. That's probably where we want to leave anyway.
Okay, and what are you looking for on your way to the east gate?
Listening for any rumors of any other zombies.
And watching, seeing if anyone else was rushed in. Any farmers, things like that.
Okay, so give me some perception checks. Wow, this investigation team is not doing so hot for investigating. However, Yaereene, you do hear some people discussing how strange it is that so many people in the army have suddenly left town and headed to the south, but there's no word of any kind of zombie incursions into town, if you will.
That's good news. I share it with the rest of the group.
Well, that's all right. Means there's no panic yet and no other issues.
It does mean that we probably have a bit more of a free hand to go outside of the city and help the army.
I already discussed with my commander that I would be looking into this zombie thing, but a little more independently rather than going house to house like the rest of them.
So on your way out of town or towards the east gate, you will be passing the temples to Torm, Yondala, and if you go outside the town, Farlang. So if you wanted to stop in and talk to anybody in those, you can.
I'm kind of interested in Farlang.
And we already stopped at Torm to get me fixed up, so they seem fine and at least aware what's going on.
Yeah, they sent most of their clergy out to the farmers' fields to help out with the army.
So Farlang for now?
Okay, so you guys leave the city. It's little crisp outside the city walls right now, but it's not far to get to call it a temple is generous. It's more of a large hut, and there's no windows or anything. It's a very small building, and inside you find a sole occupant.
The occupant is male, female, old, young.
It's an older man, gray hair, long and scraggly. His clothes look well worn, and his shoes are more holes than shoes.
Grandfather, a good day to you. I'm wondering, how is your magic working? Are you all good?
Oh, welcome, travelers, welcome. Yes, the night draws near. I fear fewer and fewer of our people have been traveling to this humble temple from the Southlands. There are still many brothers and sisters who travel the frontier road east. However, I worry for my kin who have stopped coming from the south.
Have you heard of a reason for it?
No, I have not. As I say, nobody has been coming from that direction for some days now. So there is no news if there are no travelers.
Grandfather, you say the dark. Now, are you talking about the passage of a day, or are you talking about something else?
Oh, we travel by day and rest by night, and I fear that night will soon be upon us, and the rest may be eternal. For Farlang has been strangely distant of late.
Distant or silent?
The distance grows daily, and I believe soon will be silent, much as the travelers from Palor and Foltis in the city have been speaking of in recent days.
Who are the dark? That would be waxing while the light is waning.
Of that I have no answers. I simply see the day as it is and the night as it is. And if night falls, then so be it. Perhaps one day the light of the sun shall shine on us once again.
Can you sense anywhere that the light went to?
It simply sets, as the sun always does, except the scales of the all, everything around us, are so much grander than us mere mortals, that the days and nights seem longer, and we have had a very long day.
You see Katira look somewhat discomforted and digging around in his pockets, pulls out one gold piece and looks for a offering bowl, an alm cup, to place it in.
The followers of Farlang receive no monetary donations, thank you. However, if you ever do find yourself with an extra pair of shoes or boots, we would welcome them.
Grandfather, if I gave you a gold piece, perhaps you could task a follower to get it for you.
That is not our way.
Yaereene attempts to move forward to speak, but trips over her feet and lands on the ground, totally unsurprised. She asks, "Did you hear anything from the south that was unusual before people stopped coming?"
No, the travelers simply ceased to come. There was no news whatsoever.
Well, we are about to embark on something of a journey to find out what's happening. Would you be able to give us a blessing?
I can give you a blessing such as it is. It may not be powered by the divine lords of the sky or earth, but it is a blessing all the same. May you have great luck on your journey, and may the daylight shine upon you once more.
Thank you. And Ysmyr is going to step out and wait for the other two.
Up and follows.
I follow.
All right, well, the problem seems to be spreading slowly. And the south seems to be where the problem is.
It sounds like whatever it is has the south.
So we go to Miri's temple, and then I think I'm going to be going south. You guys can follow if you like.
I think we all need to make the journey to the sun and then make the journey to the south together. It doesn't make sense that one take the burden.
I think sticking together is a good plan.
Okay, so while you guys figure out what you'd like to do next for preparations, Tempus and Miri arrive at the central market.
Okay, so I'm going to hit up my favorite place and get a little bit of food, enough to get started.
And Tempus is following her lead.
Okay, yeah, they've got as many days of rations as you would like. Each day of rations weighs 2 pounds and costs 5 silver pieces.
So yeah, we're looking to buy 8, so that would be 4 gold, I believe, at 5 silver a ration. So, Miri, are you taking the lead on this? Are you just going to go ahead and buy them?
Yeah, probably. Sorry, I'm sitting here trying to go back and forth and reading things. Yeah, and then we want to get a cart so that we don't have to carry everything and get weighed down. I'm just trying to figure out. We might want to get the entire group together so that we can all pool money to get a cart. How much is a cart going to be? I don't have the books.
A cart will cost you 15 gold pieces.
We can afford that and the rations without needing the rest of the group.
Okay, but if we want to get beasts to pull them, that's going to require getting the rest of the group to assist. All right, let's get the rations and the cart, and then meet up with the rest of the group and figure out the rest of it.
Tempus's feelings are hurt because he's all the beast you need, but yeah, we'll purchase the cart and the rations, and I'll just pull it through the city streets as we head back to... shall we head back to your temple to begin with?
Yeah, that's probably a good place to go looking to meet up with the rest of the group.
Okay, so if we're spending 4 gold for the rations and 15 gold for the cart, I'll subtract all of my gold out of it, and so that would be 10. So then if you can cover the remaining 9 out of your 15, that should leave you with 6 gold.
Okay, that leaves me with 6 gold then.
Okay, so you guys get your cart that Tempus hauls with your rations in it, and we're going to skip back to the investigative team. Have you guys thought of what you want to do after the temple to Farlang?
We are going to go a little bit south of the city just to see if we can spot anything, have noticed anything that maybe no one else has. Maybe spot a zombie, who knows. Otherwise, we'll probably head back.
You see further down the road, there are soldiers lined up. They seem to be all forming a net between the farms that are south of the city and those that are southeast and to the east. You can see that there are a few crumpled forms at the feet of the soldiers, but out in the farmers' fields, you're not seeing any movement of zombies or any signs of fighting currently.
Okay, I would like to go up to one of the soldiers, and especially one of the ones that has a crumpled body by it, and ask what's going on.
Ysmyr, yes. Report. I have slain one zombie that attempted to cross the road to the southeastern farms. There have been a few such incursions over the time that we've been staying here. There are other groups of soldiers going house to house through the south fields, checking out all of the houses and ensuring that everybody is safe, and if they are not safe, that they are dealt with appropriately.
Perfect. And you all have priests with you who can heal should a soldier be bitten?
Every 4th person down the line is from the Temple of Torm, and then each scouting group that's going through the farming fields also has a priest with them. We are well protected.
Excellent. And everything seems to be coming from the south.
From the southern fields, yes, trying to cross towards the east into the farmlands. Of course, we don't have soldiers on the western side of the farmlands along the river, but if anything tries to cross that way, it should drown.
They're dead. They can't drown.
It would be worth, if you can get someone to send some parties just to check the west, just in case.
I understand your concerns. The soldiers that are in the scouting parties are headed in that general direction, so I'm sure if they see any footprints staggering off towards the river. They will report on that and send out scouts to follow.
Well, that sounds fantastic. Thank you so much. Ysmyr will then return to the other two and let them know. It seems everything's coming from the south, so there are more zombies, though. We need to figure this out.
Do we head back to town now?
I think it would be worth it to go find Miri and Tempus and make our plan for travel.
Okay. You guys head into town and make a perception check.
Better than last time.
And worse.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, Kachira, as you're heading into town, you do notice cart tracks coming from the southern road that you've been walking along, and you see a cart entering into town just as you guys are getting there. It must have gone past while you were in the Temple to Farlang, and it appears to have a cargo of grains in the back, with a very bundled driver in the seat and a tired-looking mule dragging it along through the snow.
How far ahead is it?
It's about 100 feet ahead of you guys right now, and it's just entered through the city gates.
I pointed it out to my two companions and I say, well, there's something that I didn't expect to see, something making it through. Did the captain say anything about letting the cart through?
No, he didn't mention anything about it. He only said what I said he said.
Where did it come from? Yes, my paranoia is showing, Ryan.
Well, we can go ask. And I'll kind of jog up after it.
What's everybody's speed?
30.
I think minus 20.
I play my lute and give you up to 30.
Thank you.
Okay, so the cart is moving fairly slowly, and it doesn't take you too long to catch up to it.
I'm wary.
Ysmyr will catch up and try and get to the side of the driver and just be like, hey there, where are you from?
I'm from the South Farms.
That's alarming.
The South Farms. When did you come up from the South? Where in the South Farms?
Oh, you know, south of the city.
What's your name?
Bill.
Okay, that's it. I cast sleep on him.
Okay, so how does that work? It's up to a certain number of hit dice fall asleep, right?
Right. And I've got it centered, so I'm trying to keep it so it only hits him and not his beast and nobody else. I just want it to affect him.
Okay, so it's kind of over the cart then, and not over the mule that's dragging it.
Yeah, and it does have a 20-foot range around the point I drop it.
Speaking of the cart, is the cart covered?
The cart is not covered. It's you can clearly see the grains that it's wheeling into the town, and you can see that now that you're closer, you can see that there's actually grain falling off the back of it as it rumbles along.
Okay, that was a pretty sucky roll with 3 die being subpar, but it's 19 total. If he's 19 hit point or less, he goes to sleep. Otherwise, he shrugs it off.
He hisses in rage and tears the scarf off of his face, and you can see this undead beast growling at you with long razor teeth and a very long tongue, and it jumps at you guys. Initiative.
Expletive
Start going
deleted.
for the high rolls.
Delightfully average.
All right, Ysmyr, you're up first.
All right, I am going to cast.
Oh, you were right beside it. So I need you to start off your turn making a Constitution saving throw, DC 10, please.
Everyone?
At the start of the turn, anybody who is close to it, yes.
I think I'm good.
I don't think I was close enough.
No, just Ysmyr had mentioned that she was right up close talking to the driver. So probably nobody else will have to make that saving throw. Okay, yeah, you're totally fine, Ysmyr. So whatever you're going to do on your turn.
She is going to first attack it with her short sword, and then as a bonus action, she'll cast Hexblade's Curse on it.
Okay, that's a hit.
All right, and then for Hexblade's Curse, the target... Oh, I have a +2 bonus to damage rolls, and if I score a critical, I get hit points back, basically.
Okay. So did that do 2 more damage then on the attack that you just made?
If you're allowing me to cast it first and then swing, then yes.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, then 2 more.
Okay, it goes next. And since you're right in its face, it is attacking Ysmyr. I'm guessing a 20 hits.
Yeah, I'm just double checking the curse, and then I'll...
Okay, you take 11 slashing damage as it reaches forward with its claws and rakes you across the chest. You also need to roll a Constitution saving throw, DC 10, please. Okay, you're fine.
Ouch!
And yeah, and after it attacks, it disengages and starts to run away back towards the gate.
I shoot it with my bow.
Funny you should say that. It's your turn.
Do I get an attack of opportunity? No, it disengaged. Never mind.
And does that hit?
Oh, yeah, definitely. 22 is more than enough.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. So it's still up. And Kachara, it's your turn.
How far am I from it?
It has moved 30 feet away over the back of the cart. It ran over the back of the cart and is about 15 or 20 feet away from the cart now. So yeah, it's probably between 30 and 40 feet away from you.
Okay, because I like to think that I would have been to the rear of the cart. Now, easily it can figure out a way to run past me without me getting an opportunity attack, but I'm going to take my movement of 30, and I was holding my loot. I cannot equip myself with the longsword and strike with it this turn, can I?
If you drop the loot, you can.
Okay, well, the loot it has a cord around it, so it's around me. So if I drop it, it just starts slapping against me while I run.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to catch up to it and try and strike it with a longsword.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
That's a hit.
My damage is underwhelming today.
Well, at least it helps a little bit. But it is still up. And Ysmyr, it's your turn.
All right. She is going to cover a bit and then run after them as well. And she's going to Eldritch Blast it.
That's a hit.
And to explain the 4, I took Agonizing Blast.
Okay, it's still up. So, sorry, you ran right up behind it, Ysmyr?
Not right up behind it, probably a few feet away.
Okay, it's going to attack Kachara. Oh boy. Okay, so it turns around, and as it turns, it just rakes its claws across you. You take 14 points of damage, and please make a Constitution saving throw. Okay, don't worry about the Constitution saving throw then. And there's no one to disengage from, so it is double moving out of the gates.
And Yaereene's initiative is at the same time. She still have a shot?
Yes. You are, I believe, within range. What's the range on your bow?
50, and in the parentheses, 600.
Yes, it is still in range. That's a hit. And this last arrow drives through its chest, and the thing drops to the ground, unmoving.
Oh, thank God. But Kitiara, crap.
It's our bird also.
Yeah, and so what are you going to do about Kachara?
Are we near any of the temples?
Yes, the Temple of Yandala is close by.
I shout to Ysmyr that I'm headed for the temple.
All right.
Make a perception check.
Both of us?
Sure. Oh, it doesn't matter. They rolled 0. As you guys are going, oh my God, and Yaereene prepares to run to the Temple of Yandala, you see the seeds in the back of the cart beginning to shift, and these 2 zombies rise up from inside, some of the seeds sticking to their bodies where black is running down wounds that they're covered in.
I'm not leaving now.
Yeah, they're closest to you, Yaereene, and so they kind of stumble their way out of the cart and come to get you.
Can I shoot one of them?
Lure them away.
They actually have the same initiative order that you do. So as you shoot the ghast and then think, oh, I'm going to run, they lumber out. Does a 17 hit?
Yes, it does. I'm screaming.
All right, you take 10 damage, and please make a Constitution saving throw, DC 10.
I would prefer to fail that.
Yeah, you did fail that. You don't notice anything right now, though. Kachara, please make a death saving throw. First success. Ysmyr, you're up.
She is going to get closer to zombies for now, and I guess Eldritch Blast, the one closest to Yaereene.
They're both right beside Yaereene, so whichever one.
One that she could straight up shoot then.
Okay, no problem.
And I realized I had my spell attack modifier added wrong last time, so just a heads up.
That's a hit.
And she's also yelling for people to get help.
Yeah, I was just going to say that now, like, people at first were watching the fight that you were having with this ghast in bewilderment, like, what the heck is going on? But now that there are oozing zombies rising out of the grain cart and attacking, they're totally freaked out and starting to scream, and some of the city guard at the gate have noticed what's going on and are running in to help as well. So next up is Yaereene.
Are they too close to shoot, or can I continue firing with my bow?
They are within 5 feet of you, so you can shoot, but there are penalties to shooting in close range like that.
It might just be best to drop my bow and grab my sword.
Probably.
I'm doing that. That's a miss.
Yep.
That's my second one.
That's a hit. Oh, actually, the first one hit too. Their AC is really terrible.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So that's the first hit. All on the same one.
And that's the same one that Ysmyr attacked?
Yes, please. I would like them to lay down.
Okay. So you stab this thing, and it looks like it should go down, and it kind of stumbles back into the cart, but then it gathers its strength and comes back again. And now it's their turns. The one that you just about put down comes back at you. The other one, having heard the magic, is going to go get Ysmyr. Okay, you're both getting hit by the looks of that.
I am so glad that was not the damage roll.
That would have been awful.
It would have been bad. That's what I thought it was when I first saw it.
Okay, Yaereene, you are taking 7 points of damage, and if you're still up, make another even if you're not, make another Constitution saving throw, DC 10, please.
I am still up, and I still refuse to make it.
Ysmyr, you take 5 points of damage, and please make a Constitution saving throw.
I did not make this one.
Oh boy, this is getting interesting in a hurry. Okay, so I'm going to roll for the guards to come into this. Ysmyr, you're going to be up first.
Okay, well, are the guards around now?
Do I need to make a death save?
Oh, right, I forgot our last person in order here. Kachara, please make a death save. Success again! Okay, to answer your question, Ysmyr, yes, the guards are right beside you now. They're on either side of you, preparing to fight the zombie that's in front of you, but they double move to get there.
Okay, and is there any clerics with them?
No.
All right, well, she's gonna shout, "Someone get us some clerics," and then she is just going to, I think, Eldritch Blast the zombie coming for her again.
Okay, does casting a ranged spell in melee combat have disadvantages of any kind? I'm not sure.
If the target is adjacent, I believe yes, but if it's not, I think it's okay.
Well, if not, I'll just attack with my sword and dagger then.
Okay, yeah, because it's adjacent to you, because it just attacked you.
Okay,
That's a hit. And that's a hit.
so then it goes sword and dagger.
Okay, it's still up, and the guards attack it. One hits, one misses. Yaereene, you're up next.
I'll continue trying to attack the one that's trying to kill me.
Okay. All right, so you didn't need the second attack. The first one dropped it, and it stopped moving. If you want, you can move into range of the other zombie from behind it, and your second attack will hit that instead. Okie doke. It is still up, and it's its turn. It's going to attack one of the guards. And the guard takes a hit from the zombie and staggers back a bit, clearly injured. And now it is Kachara's death save. Stabilized. Hooray!
Thank goodness.
I've never seen someone pass all 3 death saves in a row. Ysmyr, you're up.
She'll take her 2 swings again.
That's a hit. And it goes down unmoving.
And that's all of them, right?
That's all of them. Yaereene, you notice that the injuries that you've sustained are already feeling quite awful, definitely worse than they should from the beating that you've received. And a quick glance shows you that they have started to discolor and blacken.
Yaereene, Ysmyr, I think there's a problem. I'm turning funny colors. I don't think this is right.
That's what happened to me. Get to the temple. We need some healing.
I take off towards the temple.
Okay, it's not far from where you guys are, just a little ways down the street, and you find some halfling clerics in here doing just their daily work around the temple.
Ysmyr is going to tell the soldiers to watch Katira, and then she's going to run after Yaereene.
Okay.
Oh, please! Too coherent.
The halflings see you guys run in and look very startled, and one of them approaches and says, "What's the matter with you two? What's going on?"
I thrust my wounded arms at him.
Zombies and something else, and we need this fixed quickly.
Oh my goodness! Normally we would charge a fee for healing, but this looks rather serious.
Unless you want us to turn into zombies right here in your temple, we need it now.
Yes, rather not. Good point. We may require a favor in the future, but for now, yes, let's deal with this. And they cast some spells, and the blackness around the wounds that Yaereene had fades away, even though the wounds themselves remain.
And breaks down in tears. And how much money you want?
They do the same for Ysmyr casting the spell on you when they detect that you are in fact diseased, and so you're both in the clear.
We also have a friend out in the street who was attacked, but he seemed fine. But he needs healing.
You'll notice that Yaereene is also very, very wobbly on her feet.
Are his wounds quite serious? Should we rush out immediately?
He's unconscious, yes.
Very well. And the halfling goes sprinting out of the building down the street to examine the tiara.
Okay, Ysmyr's going to turn to Yaereene, set her hands on her shoulders and be like, breathe, it's okay. You're alive.
She slowly stops crying. She's still looking very injured. She's blood covered everywhere and is more or less tottering on her feet.
Okay, Ysmyr will kind of throw an arm around her shoulders and guide her out of the temple back to Katira.
Okay. And you find the halfling kneeling over Katira and says, "Good news, I don't detect any disease inside your friend Katira here or the city guard who was injured in the fray. So that's excellent. Everybody should recover just fine, given enough time."
Perfect. So you said a favor, or what would it cost for the fix?
Oh, for the spells that we cast on you to remove disease, that would cost about 100 gold apiece. Would you be able to pay that?
No, favors it is.
Very well. I will confer with my fellow clerics and get back to you with a list of desires, if you will. And if you would like me to cure some of the frightful injuries I see upon you, then I can certainly do such for about 10 gold per spell.
If you can heal him so he wakes up, that I will give you 10 gold.
Oh, I can definitely do that for you. One moment. And Kachara, you get 9 hit points. And the little halfling holds out her hand expectantly to you, Ysmyr.
And she'll dig in her pouch, count out 10 gold, and hand it to him. Or her.
I get up blinking and I see the exchange of cash, and I dig in my purse and hand 10 to...
10 to who?
It was Ysmyr that did it. It was you, wasn't it? Or was it Yaereene?
No, it was Ysmyr.
Okay, I give the 10 to you.
Okay. And then she's gonna, I guess, pocket that and then turn to the guards around, or the soldiers, and be like, no one should be able to enter the city without being checked out. Did no one see this cart come through?
We did see the cart. We checked. We asked them what they were doing, and they just said it was a delivery of grain for the bakeries in the central market, and we just let them through.
Did you not pick up anything from the thing's foul speech?
Well, honestly, we didn't get that close. We were still in the guardhouse and just called over to it.
Idiots.
You see me facepalm.
You have to check everything. Everyone. Look what happened because you didn't do your job.
I'm sorry. It was just it just looked like a cart of grain. We get so many of those a day. Didn't even think to check it more carefully. Yes, of course we'll make sure that we check every cart that comes in from now on much more closely. Terribly sorry.
Make sure all the gates know it. Make sure all the guard know it.
I'll send a runner to the barracks right now to ensure that everybody knows at the start of their shift. And yes, I'll send a runner to the northwest gate as well.
Perfect. And that being said, thank you for coming to help.
You're welcome. Just doing our job.
All right. And so she's going to turn to the other two. How are you feeling, Katira?
Actually not too bad considering I was dead.
You were just knocked out, weren't you?
Maybe I'll follow that nice little short man and see if he'll heal me too.
We can go find Miri. even if she has to step outside of the city for a minute.
I am thinking that we get the party back together and we all bed down. Ysmyr, you have a house, don't you?
Not big enough.
Oh, it's all right. We can stack.
I'm sure Miri's temple would put you guys up as well.
I have a house here, but if my mom sees all this blood, I don't know what will happen.
We could see if Yaereene would take us in, but seeing as how I killed her man, I'm still kind of nervous of that.
Well, it doesn't hurt to find out, but let's go see if we can find the other two. Well, the guard can clean this up. And she's going to start walking for at least the inn or where they last saw the other two.
Yeah, I think you guys had talked about meeting at the inn when you were all done your various things, right?
That was what we were going for as a plan, and yeah, that's where we are at.
Yep. Miri and Tempus, you guys arrive at the inn, and the investigation team hasn't returned yet. Is there anything that you guys would like to do?
I'd like to check in on the innkeeper's wife and see how she's dealing with everything.
You find her behind the bar, and she's sobbing into her arms.
Tempus is going to walk behind the bar, and he's just going to try to get down to her level, crouch a little bit, just make sure that their eyes are level, and he's just going to say, how long were you and your husband together?
We were married 50 years.
And what do you plan to do now that he's gone?
I don't know. I feel that he would want me to carry on with the inn and keep this place running. It was his second greatest love next to me.
Tempus is going to nod and just say, that seems quite wise. Is there something that I can help you with here and now? Is there some way that I may aid you?
I don't know. He had his own system of paperwork for the inn, and I don't know anything about how it works. So I'm going to have to do a great deal of reading. But if you could read through those things for me and help me figure out that side of things, then I could continue to keep the bar open and at least try to bring in some money to keep this place running.
Out of character, 5th edition, are barbarians still illiterate?
I think barbarians can read and write, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Let me check.
I think it's related to the intelligence you took.
I'm of average intelligence, 10.
Yeah, you should be fine.
Yeah, no, Tempus is not interested in reading. He is going to suggest that he'll run the bar, and she can take some time to try and work through the writing, and that would likely be a much better way to go.
She'd be very happy to accept your help to do that for her. She's not sure how long it'll take to go through the paperwork for the inn, but any help that she can get right now is more than welcome, and she'd be happy to pay you for your services as well.
Not at all. Tempus is more than happy to run the bar for one night for free.
Thank you so much. I'll put up the sign that we're open then, and start dealing with all of this. Thank you so much.
And I'm gonna poke my head out the door and yell, Miri!
Yes,
How well do you cook?
reasonably.
Excellent. And I throw her an apron and say, we need you in the kitchen now.
All right.
And we are going to set to running the bar.
I may try to rope Mom into helping too, because, we can't really help with our magic, but there's a lot of healing herbs that can be put into like soups and things. And if we can heal people with the plain mundane stuff, that's really helpful. and it can really boost morale.
Sounds great to Tempus. And he's going to set to pouring both kinds of drink, milk and water.
Oh no.
What about tea?
We gotta get Tiara there. Pronto.
What is tea if not muddy water?
It's dirty leaf water.
Muddy. It has leaves in it. It's. Don't get me started. I am kind of a tea snob.
this is great. Okay, so by the time the investigation team stumbles their way back to the inn, you find Tempest behind the bar and a whole bunch of people quite angrily yelling about wanting other drinks that are normally available at the bar.
Okay, as soon as I walk through the door and I hear the hubbub, I start playing. I start singing a song about how this has always been an inn of fellowship, of good times, of relaxing, and how everybody just needs to sit down and it's all going to be good.
I'll take a performance check, please.
I was afraid you'd say that.
Meanwhile, Miri is bringing out.
Yes! Yes!
Wow. Wow. First off, amazing that you rolled a natural 20. Second off, I'm amazed that you don't have any bonuses to performance as a bard.
I may have just been over anxious to roll.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, you play this song and
Actually, 25.
Okay. Everybody in the place settles down as soon as you start to play your song, and they all hang their head in shame, looking ashamed, and some of them start to overpay for their water and milk that's being served.
Okay, the first thing I do is try to reinforce the feeling. It's all okay. Everything's fine. Nobody needs to feel guilty. And I start heading towards the bar to actually do some bartending.
Tempus puts his hand axe away.
Tempus, let me give you a few tips on how to run a bar.
And Tempus is immediately going to put him to work pouring drinks. And yeah, I am going to be very ineffectively running the bar.
Okay, the first thing I do is I start working the draft. And I start putting up mugs of beer. Then I start looking around for the people that actually want mixed drinks.
Okay. It doesn't take too long. Eventually, people stop ordering drinks from Tempus, and Kachara's busy handling things, but you do get everything straightened out. However, after you get everything straightened out, it gets a little bit quieter. Half-elven gentleman comes up to the bar and taps a gold piece on it and looks at you expectantly.
I cock an eyebrow and I say, sir, greetings to you. And what might be your favorite?
Well, I imagine, and he's told you about the extra special for our kind?
I get a glass of water and I put a pinch of the powder in it.
Oh, why'd you have to go and water it down like that? I prefer it straight. I'm not paying a full gold for this.
In that case, let me take the poor offering, and I get a little bar spoon like you would use to pour a Pousse Cafe, and I fill it half full, and I offer it to the gent.
He slides you a gold piece and takes it happily. Thank you very much. And he immediately ingests it and looks at peace with the world.
And I'm just thinking to myself, damn.
Yaereene, yes, you can find Miri. She's cooking food in the back. Not that there's been a lot of order for food, but she's a little bit busy with her mother in the back there. And Miri, your mother, is going about the work of helping, but not with her usual gusto. She seems quite down still.
I'll just note that Ysmyr's probably at the far end of the bar just drinking a beer.
Okay, Miri will probably spot Yaereene pretty quickly if she comes into the kitchen.
She's covered in blood. Like, covered.
Yipe! Okay, Miri will just hustle over and plonk Yaereene onto a stool, and then slowly just kind of wash her with, get a washcloth and start helping her clean up, and slowly feed her, like, tea and soup that will help heal. I imagine my magics are not working, so what I have are herbal medication, basically, and, a nice, refreshing stew that's filling and stabilizing. Basically, I am pretty much down to herbal medication if I do not have my standard magic of my god.
Okay, so the way that we'll run that is, Yaereene, when you have your long rest, instead of getting 1 hit point back plus your Constitution modifier per night of rest, you'll get 2 hit points back plus your Con modifier for the next night.
Great. She is looking at Miri just totally gratefully and may have a bit of a case of hero worship now.
The minute that Miri finishes administering aid to Yaereene, Tempus is going to drop by with an apron and a platter of food, drop it all in her lap, and say, "Pork chops to table 4. Good on ya, Yaereene."
Okay, now I finally clue into the fact that Yaereene is still close to toppling, and I walk up, pat her, and I use a cure wounds.
Thank
That's
you.
for
That feels so much better.
I then head back, continue playing, working the crowd as best I can to keep them calm, reflective, and try and ease the shock and the pain of the day.
Ysmyr's still drinking a beer.
The patrons of the Lock and Key are very happy for your service, Kachara, and they put together a fund when they get deep in their drinks to help Anise recover and help her run the inn a little more smoothly until she can get back on her feet. And some people have gone to help her work through the paperwork as well. The feeling of charity and camaraderie in the pub is at an all-time high tonight, even as they mourn the loss of Raylene.
And unless anybody has any objections, I figure we'll close the bar down for the night.
After everybody's left the bar, I will just start playing a very sad tale, talking about the loss of my friend.
All right. So the bar closes down. Anise is extremely grateful to all of you. She insists on giving you a large share of the bar's earnings tonight because she couldn't have done it without you.
I secrete my share where she'll find it when she needs it.
Tempus flat out refuses to take it.
Well, this will at least help us get started on our journey, because, we need to go find the source of those zombies. You said they probably came from the south?
Finishing her beer. Pretty sure they came from the south, yes.
Miri, it looks, especially if that prophet of the travel, Fafnir, I could never pronounce it, is right. He's saying the darkness is coming from the south, and all the messengers and all the travelers from the south ain't coming no more. So I think that'd be safe, but at the same time, it's affecting the sun and the light. So I think the visit to the temple is still a good idea.
Yes, definitely. I'd like to speak with the elder of the temple first, and then from there we go south. So we'll rest up tonight, and then in the morning we'll go to the temple, and as soon as I'm able, we'll make sure that everyone is fully healed, and we'll take it easy on the journey to the temple, and then we'll head south, and we'll see what we can find.
If there's not enough rooms, I can share a space in my room. Just saying.
All of the rooms are currently empty. Anise hasn't had a chance to actually run that side of the business this night, so there's nobody else staying there. So there's a room for everybody, no problem, and still rooms to spare.
I'll just meet you all here in the morning, bright and early.
My home is literally across the street. It's not an issue for me to go home and come back here tomorrow morning.
I take it you and Miri, you and Tempus have gotten the cart and everything, or whatever you wanted to get covered?
Yep.
I just have to pick up our mules in the morning.
Yep.
So who all is staying in the inn? Tempus and myself and
Yaereene.
I mean, I could stay here, but I think Mom would really prefer if I stayed one last night in the temple with her, because this is going to be my last night in Nordgard for quite some time, if not ever.
I take no offense. Just wanted to know.
I've got my cottage. It's fine.
I go behind the bar. I break out a big ass stein, fill it with beer, and I look at Yaereene and Tempus and are, do you want another?
I'm good, thanks.
Tempus will secure a glass of milk and will raise up a toast to your deceased friend, the innkeeper.
To the mist.
Just to clarify, you've all received 5 gold pieces from Anise. Tempus, you said you didn't take yours, and Kachara, you said you're leaving yours at the end. But anybody else who wants to keep the money, you have 5 extra gold pieces.
Ysmyr will leave 3 and take 2.
Miri will accept them.
Looks around confused, trying to figure out what she should do after different things.
After what, sorry?
Right, after everybody's doing different things, Yaereene is confused and doesn't know what. I'm going to leave them on the table in plain sight.
Okay. So you go your separate ways for the night. It's a peaceful night, no problems, and you wake up in the morning and everything seems still okay.
I make sure I go over to the 3 that she left there and put them down behind the bar where Yaereene can see them, but nobody else can.
This is next morning, right?
Yeah. Next morning, you got anybody who is injured after the fray yesterday. You regain 1 hit point plus your Constitution modifier, except for Yaereene, who gets 2 plus your Constitution modifier because of Miri's herb stew.
Well, that takes me to 12, not quite full.
Yeah, I'm at half still. But next morning, Ysmyr will be there bright and early, looking rough, or better, but rough from the injuries she got the night before, too.
So we've all had the long rest?
Yep.
Tempus is going to check with Kitiera. Can you lend me 10 gold?
I don't have that much money left.
No
hang
problem.
Hang on a second. I managed to find 10 and I hand it to him.
Thank you. And Tempus is just going to head off to the south end market of the city. And he's looking for that mule dealer.
Okay, I'm sputtering and I'm just like following after him, like going, oi, wait up. What the heck are you doing?
Did you guys just blow past Ysmyr?
I'd like to think that we got up pretty early, so we got there before you did. Or rather, we left before you got there.
Okay. Well, she'll be at the end then.
Okay, so the two of us buggered off early. We didn't. Nobody else picked up on us leaving or our conversation. Because Yaereene is still there as well.
I think she probably could have caught us leaving if she wanted to.
It's going.
I'm heading out to get our mules.
For everyone?
Well, I'm gonna go and make sure everything goes on the up and up. Because I know there's some sketchy merchants in this town.
Yeah, but shouldn't we wait for Miri and Ysmyr?
Nope. And Tempus leaves.
I kind of look at Yaereene, cock an eyebrow, and say, he's an orc. He doesn't want any help.
Well, Yaereene will wait and tell Ysmyr and Miri what's going on.
All right, you stay. I'm off.
Tempus and Kachera are going to get to the market at around the same time that everyone else gets together at the inn.
Okay. Assuming Ysmyr walks in and sees Yaereene at least, she's gonna... Good morning. Where are the others? Are they not awake yet?
I went to get a mule or fight a mule.
Good morning.
I'm not sure.
Why
It
are
was
we
something
fighting
about a mule.
mules?
I'm not sure.
Oh no, Tempus went to try that trick on that mule dealer in the South Market.
What trick?
Yeah, there's the
I
mule.
told him that's not how humans do bargains.
Who's determined?
Should we go after him? What's the deal?
Did he go by himself?
Chiara went with him.
Then we'll just leave it to the boys and wait for them to come back.
Oh, thanks for the vote of confidence.
You, you know what? That's fine, Miri. I wanted to quickly talk with you, actually.
Sure.
Okay, Ysmyr, I'll go sit down. I didn't sleep well, and my dream seemed to have a message about a hunter coming and his rage being unstoppable.
That is concerning.
I don't know if it's connected or, yesterday was rough and you seen me on a bad day. So, but I figured you might have some thoughts.
Possibly. It might be connected. It might be a side effect of what happened yesterday. I don't think there's a way to find out besides going to look, which is what we're planning on doing anyway.
All right. I also felt like I had to find something to fight it. So,
Something to fight it.
Yeah. We'll just keep our eyes out then.
Well, to fight darkness, light. So we'll go to the Temple of the Sun. Hopefully, somewhere in our travels, we will find a weapon of light to fight this darkness.
Well, that's a start.
I wish I could be more reassuring, but that's all I've got at the moment.
It's something. This could be nothing. It could be, like I said, just things compounding. But I'll be keeping an eye out, and I think, well, this is convincing me to go along with everything for now.
Well, I'm glad you're with us, and hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully it's just a side effect of fighting zombies. But it might not be, and hopefully we can find and destroy this hunter thing that's trying to attack us. Would you like me to make you some tea that will help you to feel more awake?
Sure, that would be great.
All right, let me just check and make sure it's all right if I borrow the kitchen.
So while Miri's preparing some tea for Ysmyr, Tempus and Kachara reach the marketplace.
And I'm heading straight for that mule dealer. And I'm going to tell him, same deal as yesterday. I bet 10 gold that you can't wrestle me to the ground against 2 of your mules.
I knew you'd be back. I told you would be.
Bring your challenge, mule dealer.
All right, I got him. Come on, big guy. You show this orc who's boss. And this mountain of a man comes out of the shadows and flexes his arms impressively.
And Tempus is going to turn to Katiara and say, all right, go up and down the street and bring the hype. Tell them whatever you have to get the crowd here. Tell them he's my brother and I'm fighting him for our father's secret sauce recipe. Tell them that we're fighting for the love of the most beautiful woman in the city. Tell them that I have challenged the honor of their mules, and he is now going to face me. Do whatever you can to bring a crowd here, and bet it all on me.
That's amazing.
Okay, so basically, when he announced me to hype it up, I said, fine, I'll tell him 2 muscle-bound idiots are fighting over 2 other jackasses. And I go out and I start working the crowd.
Okay, give me a performance check. What the hell? Okay, so like half the town is turning out to see this wrestling match. They have no idea what it's actually about. They're just really intrigued by this bard walking the streets, telling everybody that there's going to be a fight at the mule dealers. So yeah, there's a whole lot of people all of a sudden turn out in this huge crowd.
And I'm working them for cash. And I'm trying to arrange everybody by how much squeeze they pay me, how close they are to the fight.
Oh my god. This is okay. Well, based on the hype for this insane event, you're gonna get a fairly good haul. And yeah, you guys at the inn even hear about this. Like there's literally like half of the city is talking about this, and as you're in the inn, you hear people walking by excitedly exclaiming about a wrestling match that's going to be happening at a mule dealer's.
So Ysmyr just finishes opening up to Miri, and then they hear this, and she's just like,
You've had time for your tea, and then you hear this.
okay,
yes.
Opening up, drink her tea, and then she hears people outside, hears what it's about, and she's just like, I think that is our half-orc friend.
Oh god. What are they doing?
Wrestling.
I think we better go investigate this.
It's Hype Master Katiara, giving you the show of your lives.
Apparently.
I can't handle it. I just can't handle this.
So Tempus is just going to take some time to get to know his fellow competitor and just ask him, like, what's his name? What's his background? Has he ever done anything like this before?
My name is Gorold. I fight men for business all the time. I am bouncer at inn. Nobody tougher than Gorold.
I start switching my song where I start talking about how Gormir is actually a girly man and like he pays off people to make him look tough.
Performance check, please.
16, I forgot to put the 5 in.
Yeah, so some of the people in the crowd are digging your song. And even having the name of it wrong is insulting, and you can see that Gorold is looking around angrily for whoever's spreading this misinformation.
So as the crowds have gathered, I'm going to like signal to Gorold that it's time for us to meet like in the center of the ring, and like I hold out my hands as though to go to to bump fists with him before the match begins.
Okay, yeah, they've cleared out the area where they usually house the mules, and they've taken the mules off somewhere else. And there's this ridiculous crowd all around the place, and Gorold comes forward to, knock hands with you in the center.
Cool. I am going to actually knock hands with him honorably. We'll break to our own corners, and I'll get ready for the fight.
Okay. Yeah, the mule dealer comes into the center of the ring, and he just looks perplexed why there are so many people standing around his shop. But he's more than happy to have so much interest in his business. And so he announces the fighters. He says, "So I've got Gorold here is going to be fighting on my side, and this big orc guy is going to be fighting him. I don't know what's going to happen here or why there's so many people watching, but whatever. I guess you guys can just go at it."
I break into a new song extolling the virtues of Tempus, this noble orc that is transcending the hatred of races and joining and fighting nobly to protect the town and solve all the miseries we're suffering.
And then Tempest strips off all of his clothes and walks to the center and strikes a pose ready to punch him.
Okay, roll initiative. Tempest, you're going first.
Okay, I run up and I'm going to use my bonus action to just fly into a frothing rage and deck him in the face.
Wait, I thought this was a wrestling match. You're throwing punches?
I never said if it was a human wrestling match or an orc wrestling match.
Oh dear God. Okay, make an attack roll then. That's a hit.
And so for a punch, I'll deal 4 damage plus 2, so 6 damage total.
The crowd gasps audibly as you punch Gorold in the chest, and he stumbles back. And he's gonna try to... no, you know what? He's been enraged by this fight. He's gonna punch you back with both fists.
And assuming the girls can see, he's just like, oh my God.
Does an 11 hit?
It does not.
Okay, he takes a couple of swings at you, but he's obviously flustered about all of this stuff just going completely sideways on him. And so it's your turn.
Miri is probably hiding her face somewhere, especially if these people don't have clothes on.
I choose to add the inspiration dice.
You do hit with that, so you don't need to.
Okay.
Like, he's an unarmed guy with 10 dex, so yeah.
So 6 damage to his 10 dex face.
His 10 dex face looks pretty bloody, and he spits out a tooth and goes to pummel you back.
You don't get multiple attacks yet, do you, Tempus?
Absolutely not.
Well, you can always attack as a bonus action with your offhand.
I choose not to.
That's what I figured you were doing, so yeah. Does a 13 hit you?
That is my armor class, so yes, I believe so.
Okay, you take 4 damage.
Cut in half because of my rage?
Yep.
Sweet.
And he misses you with his offhand. And the crowd is just going wild at this point. They came here, first off, not knowing what to expect, and then thinking it was a wrestling match. And now there's 2 guys punching each other in the face. And it's just the sound of the crowd is absolutely amazing right now. And people in the crowd can hear people making side bets on the fighters as it's going on. Tempus, it's your turn.
Can I get any cut on the side bets?
Well, you had said that you were working the crowd, so I'm assuming that you took Tempus's advice to heart and were putting it all on him.
Oh, hell yeah, and I'm trying to get any suckers I can find.
Oh, there's lots of them, because, like, Gorold looks like just gigantic, even compared to the half orc. So there's lots of people who started off betting on him, and now they're just like, ooh, ah, every time they see him taking a slug to the face.
Okay, so Tempus admittedly maybe has a little bit of a showman in him. He doesn't want to end this right away. He's going to initiate a grapple.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to murmur in Gorod's ear, "You're going to have to do better than that, human."
Okay, he's going to contest that with his own athletics roll.
Oh, because I'm raging, I think I roll my athletics at advantage.
Yeah, you have advantage on all strength checks. All right, well, he pulls out a 20, so let's see what your opposed athletics check is at advantage.
I rolled 2 rolls there. I guess was my first roll to attack him the 22?
Yeah, that was when you make the attack, you initiate into the grapple.
That's a 13 and a 6. He throws off my grapple.
He tosses you aside like you're not even there, and like half of the crowd is just like, yeah, Gorod, Gorod, Gorod. And it's your turn.
Okay, going to initiate another grapple.
And oh god.
One of those will be a 20. That's the higher result.
You got an 18. So you managed to initiate the grapple again. You've got him down. He's going to try to fight free. So roll again.
One of those will be a 24.
You keep him pinned even as he's struggling against you. The crowd is just like screaming for Gorld to get up, and the other ones are chanting, half orc, half orc, half orc.
I give Tempus another bardic inspiration.
I'm going to move from a grapple to a pin. And one of those is a 24.
Oh, you get him in the pin. He's just locked down. He can't move. The crowd is just going crazy. Some of them are just screaming, no! They can't believe that you've won this contest of strength.
I start playing a song celebrating the purity, the dedication, and the strength of Tempus to follow through on his desire for 2 jackasses.
That's great. It's fantastic. The perfect end to this fight.
And Tempus is going to help Goralt all up, and if he's willing, is going to clutch him in like a fighter's hug, and will lift his fist up to the crowd with me. And then I'm going to go see a certain man about my mules.
Okay. I just have to... The crowd start to disperse at this point, although those in the crowd can hear mutterings that they really need to see something like this again because it was too short and it was so wild and unpredictable. They want this to be a regular occurrence in town. And so, yeah, that's what's going on there. Kachara, from the money that you squeezed out of people just to see the fight, you got 22 gold pieces, and that's you can change that into whatever denominations you want, because some people who were up close were paying several silver to see what was happening, and the further back you got, the less they were paying. And for the actual amount that was paid out for the fight, it's going to be considerably more.
Thank you.
How does the mule dealer feel about all of this? Does he turn over 2 mules fairly readily?
1 second. You also make 200 gold from your dealings with half of the city showing up and placing bets on this thing.
Katiara, Hot Master Beast, I am everything you wanted to see. I show you all the features, all the entertainment. I thank you. I will see you all again.
And as the crowd's dispersing, Ysmyr is going to walk up to catch up to those two and be like, that was something, and well done.
Okay, so Tempus, you approach the mule dealer, and he is just shaking his head And he says, take them. You can have the mules. I'm not even going to give you those mules that I was going to give you that was ripping you off. You're getting my best mules because you can't pay for advertising like that. And I made a pretty sum betting on you in that fight, I'll tell you.
Thank you. And I'll collect my mules and return to the rest of the party, and I'll just sort of like blink, looking at the party, and just say like, "Oh, is everyone ready to go?"
I think we've all achieved our goals today. Shall we be off and save the world while we're at it?
Well, let's go get the cart first.
Let's go get the cart, attach the mules to it, put everything in it, and get going.
But in summary, yes, we can go.
Okay, so you guys are going to the Temple of the Sun first, right?
Far as I know.
Yes, we're going to the Temple of the Sun first, and then we'll probably go south.
Okay, so the Temple of the Sun, I'll share a map here.
As they walk back, Ysmyr will be talking a little, and she'll just be like, when we came down here, I was ready to lay into you two for causing trouble that you didn't need to, but you pulled through. I'm surprised. Well played.
And Tempus is just going to give a nod and say, "Thank you, war leader."
A heads up next time would be nice, though.
Did you take off your clothes?
Tempus will look down to realize he's still naked, and then will turn back around to go collect his pants.
Yeah, the lack of clothes thing is one of the major things that upset Miri.
This is classic wrestling. That's what you're supposed to do, right? So I don't know why you're being so upset. I mean, he's actually not that bad looking.
Public nudity! No!
Tempus just looks back between Miri and Yaereene and just scratches his belly and shrugs.
I'm quietly giggling to myself, having poked the bear.
Miri, it's over. It's done. How about you lead the way to the cart? I don't know where you guys put it.
That's a good idea. We parked it outside the temple. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys head back to the Temple of Fultus. You find your cart there. You've got your mules, and you're ready to go. Is there anything else that you guys need to do to prepare?
I need to share 40 gold with everybody else and only hold 40 for myself out of the 200. Here's a little bit of the divvy up from the sweet dealing I did. And Tempus, thank you for making it possible.
I didn't do anything.
Tempus will just say, "We are a warband. When one of us profits, we all profit." And he'll accept 10 gold from Yaereene, but no more. You can keep the other 30.
Ysmyr has no guilt keeping the gold this time.
I actually wait until Tempus turns around and I sleight of hand the 30 he gave me back into his back ass pocket.
Give me a sleight of hand check, I guess.
All right.
You're not going to get any kind of dex bonus on this because that's a lot of gold.
So I can't use my natural bonus on that? It's a straight roll?
Straight roll.
You're evil.
It's 30 gold. That weighs 6 pounds.
He has one huge ass. He's a big orc.
It's 1 gold per or 1 pound per 50 coins. So it's not. Yeah, still, it's a lot of gold.
So no bonus, or do I just take my
No
3
bonus.
down to a 2? I try and I roll poorly.
Tempus, what was that roll that you gave us for the D20?
That is my 0 bonus perception to catch him trying to sneak money into my pocket.
Okay, you catch him trying to sneak money into your pocket.
I'm just going to smile and tell him that, my friend, among the jagged tusk, money is not important. or even used on a regular basis. I appreciate the thought, but please, I would much rather that you keep it and enjoy the fruits of your labors.
I was just a hype master. It was all your labors putting the beat down on him that got the money for all of us. I will hold on to the 30, but whenever you need something and you don't have it, you talk to me, right?
Of course, my friend.
And maybe talk to him first before you do something like this again.
As you say, war leader.
I flourish a bow at Tempus and give a wink to Ysmyr.
And she's just going to chuckle and keep following Miri.
All right. So you guys make your way to the northwest gate, go around City Hall, and prepare to leave the city. And we're going to leave it there. Next time, we will start the journey to the Temple of the Sun.